All right. Okay. Very good morning to everybody out there. Hold on a second. I think there's a cord that pictures is plugged in properly. You can see the light plugged in, right? I guess that's good swear. Usually we get a little more light in here, and he throws it away and he goes, "You failed, Your Highness." Like you're you want to live to tell about it, Like the whole idea is to defeat the emperor, right? But he takes his lightsaber, he retracts it, and he throws it away like his mission was done, and Yoda told him, "Do not underestimate the power of the emperor, or suffer your father's fate. You will." And he's right, he did. He underestimated the power of the emperor. Now he had a good idea. I was thinking about this in Return of the Jedi. Remember when he goes into the emperor's throne room, the emperor goes, "Guards, leave us." As my friend likes to say, "Guards, leave us," whatever. But the whole thing is, he's handcuffed, and he sees the power of the emperor, like the unlock, the handcuffs, and so he immediately knows this guy's got something. He's no joke. Um, but he doesn't take that into consideration because you know like I think he had the wherewithal of what was going to happen. He's going to have to because he was told by Yoda. Remember, Lieutenant Jedi goes, and you know, and confront him, you will again. So he knew like he's going to have to beat him, but the whole thing is you're forgetting about the king, dude. He's not there for no reason. The king has power one way or the other. I guess, in the medieval times, the king, could send the servants, the knights after you to get you. It controls everything. It's the ruler, the king. I guess in some countries, it's just a novelty title, like King Hussein or whatever, king of there. But think about that. Think about like go back and think about the power of the king. I mean, it's like in chess. It's that's it. That's you want to checkmate the king. That's it. That's the whole goal of the game. Ironically, the queen is the most powerful piece. Huh. Whoever made that, but dive bombing queen. Sure can move around. Um, can be used in batteries and lots of things. It's amazing. Time to give up the queen if it benefits you, but it better fucking really benefit you. Such a powerful piece, Um, yeah, okay, I'll start. Hold on, before I get into philosophy that I sort of live by. Well, yeah, I might as well just jump into it. Sometimes I go off on a tangent. I think about other things. Like that might apply because everything's sort of interconnected. Like I talk about fitness, I talk about my life, I talk about trying to build a life, trying to make money, trying to, you know, get laid. Lots of things that I think are applicable to um, to just the point of life. But I guess everybody's, got their own goals, their own mission. That's good. That's what makes us unique. Individuals. I like that. I don't like being in the crowd. I don't like being part of the herd. I don't like being in the audience. I much rather be ridiculed on stage than or work behind the scenes or something. But I just don't like sitting there. Like I feel like I'm nothing special. And I remember my uncle told me this one time. He goes, "You're nothing special." Now I know he meant that in a good way, if that can be said in a good way, but what a way to break somebody's hope. And not ego too, but like your hope in life. When someone just tells you you're nothing, like I remember I was at the House of Blues, and it's not there anymore in West Hollywood. And the WrestleMania 21, the night before, there was a pre get together, like a pre party, and John Cena showed up. That's the night before they first gave him the belt, the WWE Championship. He wrestled, he beat JBL Bradshaw. Actually, I like, by the way. I always thought Bradshaw was a good asshole. Like it was a good push for that guy. Like got that rich kind of the Texas machismo kind of thing, and he belittled, yeah, man, he belittled Eddie Guerrero when he was alive, and everybody. He was good. He was pulled up in that limousine, and he was good. I have so much respect for these people because you're talking about how the difficulty of these guys. They go from town to town, and then they're on television, and they got to execute as actors. They got to execute as performers. And in your body, you got to be like fucking incredible shape, like, I mean, now, Bradshaw, he's a big guy, he wasn't like Batista kind of, like chiseled from granite, as he says, but uh, still, the difficulty of, your lines, and if you're an asshole, like if you're a heel, you got to be really, really convincing, like people got to really hate you. That's hard to do, like now, it's going to lead into my philosophies I live by, but I don't live by that, but I remember I would go to these nightclubs, like I would stand outside, because I couldn't get in, and I could just, somebody said something to me, I could fucking make them want to kill me. I mean, I know how to get under people's skin, like if I was a heel, I'd be really good, but I'd be scared because I'm really, really convincing. I can piss you off. Like I know how to do it. I can just figure you out. Like I studied too much psychology, read too many books on this. I mean, you can never read enough and learn enough. But I mean, you're talking to somebody that can try to just rile you up. If I want to, like it doesn't do anything for me. But my point is that I know how to. And I can tell you things that you don't want to hear either. Like that's even worse. They call it tough love, but that's one of the most important things in life is brutal honesty. Like it's so hard because so many people get offended so easily because they're not trained how to deal with reality. There's a lot of people live pipe dreams in their mind, and like. I have a friend, he works out methodically, but, he's like kind of bar big, he doesn't, he's a good guy and everything like that, but he's not a student, he's not a learner like I am, like, for whatever reason. And, guy, if he asked me, like, please give me your honest, unabashed opinion of what you think the problem is here, like, and it'd be really, really hard because I remember this one guy, this guy that was connected with WWE. He'd see me work out at this other gym. It's not even there anymore. And this guy was like, he had a good genetic build. Like I know he was taking a little something, but he was about 6'2", maybe 6'1", maybe plus. I don't know. He's well over 6 feet. He was about 215. He was very solid. And compared to me, like, he made fun. He goes, "Hey, you look like a little shrimp," like. And I thought about it, and I said, "Fuck, dude, at that time I still had years and years and years, decades, of workout experience. And for somebody to call me that, like, it really, I was like, it's just, I thought about this and I was like, well, God, I got to be able to hold my own against somebody that's about 6'1", 6'2", whatever, 215. I got to be a solid 200 pounds, like a real, like granite. Then because it offsets your height when you got that kind of size on you. Now I don't do this just for his approval. I do it for mine. I don't like being dusted. Talked about this many times before. There's always going to be people bigger than you, but my point is that look at guys like Diamond Dot. Look at the way what these exercises this guy can fucking do. I guarantee the guy's a pretty good sized dude, but you're talking about like these type of control. His core is like a fucking is like iron, it's a granite, marble, whatever. And most people don't even try. You have no fucking idea. Most of these pussies, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but they work out in the gym. They're using little ropes, doing a little something. They can't fucking hang in any of those positions and lift their body up with their feet straight out. No fucking way. No fucking way. Their core is not strong enough. They sit there and they do tricep work, bicep work, little lat pull down, garbage exercises that really don't give you anything. They don't. I know I've been around too long. I can tell you, for me, what gives you something, what gives you nothing, and what might give you a little something. And I look at these guys. They show up in my gym every day. I don't stand around like measuring people up, but these guys show up. They wear shorts. They got these chicken legs. I'm just saying. I'm looking at these people. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You look like a nothing. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but it's like, dude, you can work out every fucking day and don't even look like you work out. I said that to a friend of mine. He kind of, I know he got kind of offended, but he just kind of, kept it to himself. He's also the guy that told me when I told him my dream, I wanted to be a wrestler, and he said, immediately his response is, you're too small. And it was like end of story. He didn't say end of story, but he goes, you're too small. That's it. Instead of looking at, hey, you know what? And I told him, I said, your brain, the reason that you're a loser, I didn't tell him this, but this is a reality. The reason is that you never did anything with your life, and you say you respond like that. Why you can't do something? Why I can't do something? Is because you are socially conditioned to believe that. And that was his immediate response was like, you're too small. That's it. Instead of thinking that, and I said, well, what about this? What about this angle, like a David versus Goliath? Yeah, I'm too small. That's the selling point. And he just doesn't see somebody, a loser thinks like they just give you the generic response. You can't, no, it's over. And like discussion's over. Instead of the creative thinking man, saying, I wonder if there's something here. Like, I don't want to, now think about this. If you were like a promoter, wrestling promoter, and now if there's nothing there, like Ed Connors, I talked with him over the phone a couple of times, a couple, but it was because I tried to like convince my way to get a tryout with WWE. And he asked me first thing, he goes, how big are you? And I go, what are you? And he goes, how tall are you? And I go, well, I'm 5 foot. And the second 5 came out, he goes, if you're not 6'1", I can't use you. It was over. Like, well, wait. And he goes, I need at least 6'1". And it was over. Now, I know he's not the only person that's connected with them, but that narrow-minded, this was before Daniel Bryan, long before I tried to pitch this idea to, and so now Bruce Pritchard, who played Brother Love, I met him at a hotel bar one time. I think he gave me an email address, it's years ago, and I never followed up with it. It was a long time ago. My thought process, I didn't have any confidence even back. Like now, I'm a little more like this. I've been around. I'm not liquored up anymore. I don't drink anymore, and I'm more educated now, more psychologically aware, like understanding. I read this book on manipulation. Man, you could be taken advantage of so easily if you don't know what you're doing. Like I watched the WWE tryout at SummerSlam. It was in Las Vegas last year, And Triple H, whatever, like at the end of the 2-day trial, he brings these people into a room one at a time, and he goes, "Congratulations, you're welcome to the WWE." And these people, some of them are crying, and I'm that's all. I said, "Well, wait, what do you mean? Wait a second." He goes, "That's all it is," and I even commented this below, and I says, "That's all it was getting a chance to go to the Florida training facility." That's nothing. That's like that ain't the fucking WWE. You ain't on SmackDown or Raw getting a push. Nothing. And these people are all teared up like after 2 fucking days of a little nothing. I watched this. I could do all that shit. It's nothing. It's nothing. And the reason I won't is because I will not go the traditional route. Those guys did not go the traditional route. None of those fucking guys that ever made John Cena didn't. None of those fucking guys did it. And it's not about you knowing a couple how to get up or using your form. It's the dumbest fucking thing that A-Train was teaching. I'm not gonna get into this. I can do the flips. I can do all that. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I know I say 3 times because I reinforce these beliefs because I know for a fact what's a big deal. What's a big deal is that they need you for something. It's not a gimmick or anything. You gotta fit into a slot that is necessary, and it's got to be absolutely perfect at the right time at the right thing. That's how like these guys like they push the Black Lives movement. That's how Big E. That's how what's his name Bobby Lashley got a push. That's how the timing and the right situation. Daniel Bryan, they thought that's what McMahon. Take this small guy here, and you can use him against like Randy Orton. So like push this guy, make him like the crowd likes him. So I'm doing my Vince McMahon thing, and then what you do is it'd be like have him do like at the end, the Benoit move, the headbutt and the submission thing. See that's what it is, to write him out of history, which I understand why it doesn't matter, to cover it up by a landmark event, by WrestleMania 30. That's the thing, and that's exactly what was needed. That's why Daniel Bryan got the push at that time. I understand this because I look at it from the outside perspective. All these other performers, they're trying to come up with a gimmick. They're doing it inverted. They're doing it the inside out. Instead, they're trying to become wrestlers, trying to become a gimmick. I understand the other way around. You have to be what's needed. It's like if you go to their job, the corporate thing they need a systems analyst or whatever it is, a senior analyst or whatever. That's what's needed. That's the only way I would ever be able to get in if I'm the person that is needed. Now I'm well aware of my age and everything like that, and those factors, and and that's cool. I don't care really. I mean, it's another one of those pipe things that I have. It was like baseball. Like I knew I was getting old. I knew it. But if it, I got that contract. I got that paper to validate everything I went through. It was cool. It was really cool. I don't expect, to make it, in wrestling or anything like that. I know, I'm well aware of because it's just again, that if it's not you're not what's needed, then it's just not going to happen. Like I'm looking at this from the correct way, not the generic way of most like young people thinking, well, okay, let me get trained by somebody and let me like get in great shape and let me try to push myself here. It won't matter. It won't matter. You have to be what's needed. You have to be what is needed. Yep. I know I said that a couple of times, but it's the correct way to go about things. And what's more important is like what I'm working on now is getting my doctorate degree. That's what's important. Hopefully by next July I'll be in the graduation. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the philosophies that I live by. And it's very common stuff. And I say sort of because, a human being is not a robot. And conscious beings. But what do I mean by this? What I mean by it is I see women all the time. I get horny too. And let me give you an example of yesterday, like in the afternoon. I went up to Trader Joe's. And I remember, this one, I hate giving specifics because, I don't, you never know, like, who's going to be watching, it's like you got to be defensive kind of in life just to protect yourself, but open and honest at the same time. See, that's what I like to do. I like to, like, really tell you, like, how I feel and what I think, but also, just a little defensive because, there's just, listen, there's a lot of gays. I mean, again, I'm not saying they're bad people, but a lot of people and things that, I don't need, that they can't help me. And, I don't need the, like, a lot of people, like, they want to help you, but they don't understand they're not helping you. They think they are, but they're not. People I'd see around, West Hollywood, whatever, and you think they with women, and they would be like, hey, like, I could introduce you to her, I could help you. Never, never, never. I know I said this a lot, but I reinforce when I say something a lot of times. It's just it's built on reality and frustration. And my point is that people are very selfish, and I understand that, and they're very defensive, and they're not going to help you. They're not going to help you. And other times when I try to, like, if you go back to my earliest episodes when I talk about trying to, like, go after these women and trying to meet them, these guys want to get into a fight over it, which is so stupid. Like, you gotta understand, words are the cheapest, easiest thing. And these people, again, I could crack their egos. I told you, it's so easy to piss people off, which again doesn't do anything for me. But my point is that people are very edge on edge. I mean, I was working out in the park a couple hours ago, and this group of clowns, that they were down by the sidewalk, maybe 40, 50 feet away, and then this one black guy, he's telling he's with the group, and he's telling this one guy, this one guy's trying to work his way into that group, and he goes, he's telling him, like, I forget the word, but he's trying to get that guy, like, to talk the way that it's just so stupid. You can't make anybody think. They try to use manipulation tactics. I overheard. I couldn't help it. Like, telling him to be quiet. Like, it's not giving. Not just doing what the guy tells him to do, kind of thing. This command kind of thing. I mean, it's just so retarded. So let me digress about how this leads into philosophies that I live by. So on my way to this park that I work out in. Now, there's a stupid, I have mixed emotions about celebrities and actors, movie stars, whatever you want to call them. I have mixed emotions with them. Now, let me explain why. Most of them I don't give a fuck about. I don't know who they are. I don't care. I see them on billboards, this dumb, whoever these guys are, whatever. And then there's the people that I really respect, as far as, because, I know who they are and what they do. The Rock and John Cena, especially those two. And I know they're wrestlers that got into acting, but, besides that, a lot of these, these young, I don't care. Like, they don't do anything for me. They're not going to help me, and they're just promoted. They got money, whatever, So, where I work out, where I can do these gymnastic or isometric type exercises, there's a little workout area in this park, and they cordoned off the majority of the park for this stupid award after party tomorrow night. And it's like a yearly thing, this Elton John, this gay, whatever, this, and the Oscars are big hoodoo, whatever. No, there's like this dog park area, and people would bring their dogs there, and they can't. It's all, when I mean cordoned off, they have big tents. This thing is a serious after party thing that they set up for. Looks like a circus kind of thing. It's a big hoodoo. Now, they put they spare no expense. They have this fencing that goes around, and then like this line in the fence you really can't see through. That it's a privacy kind of thing. I don't give a fuck about it as long as I can get to my little workout area. And I'm a little concerned about this because I could tell, I could see that they have these railing even on the sidewalk. Now to access the park where I can go to my workout area, I need to be able to access the park. And at the sidewalk, they put up these barriers. I can't even get to the location, and I can't even get to the workout area. That concerned me. Now I said, look, this is only hopefully for a night or something. Now I've been able to access the workout area so far. I saw like a security guard up. He didn't say anything like this. Again, I'm on my side. They're on theirs. Now there's other like parts of the far end of the park where they have like a bench press seated like thing and a lat pull down thing. It's no weights. It's just you use your body weight to pull it. I use it for warm up because it's real easy. Then I go over to where they have like these rings. They have like these bars, 3 levels of bars, and actually 2 lower to the ground. Like a dipping long bar. There's the stuff that's there. I make really good use out of. Like I can, I was like, wow. I noticed like some really good results in my core training because I didn't really do any ab work, but now I'm starting to notice. It's like wow, like building up my core to be able to use those rings, be able to do things on it, and I really like it. What I really like is I go whenever I want, and this leads me to philosophies I live by. When I say I go whenever I want, that means I go whenever I want, like 2 in the morning. And what's the good and the bad? The good is that there's nobody else there. Like I can do whatever I want. It's great. The bad is all these nightclubs. They let out at that time or earlier around there, and I used to go to this. I used to go to these places. Like I for a long time. I would go there because, thinking that, hey, this is how I'm going to meet women, like I'm going to go to these places, and it never happened. And, the reason it doesn't happen is you don't shine in places like that unless you're one of those actors and you're a little somebody. And I said, well, I don't care, I'm still going to be unique. I'm going to be myself and try. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, look, people go with their friends. They leave with their friends. And when you try to, like, you see the hot chick and she's with a group of gay guys and, you're in one of these places and you try to make small talk, those guys will protect her. They will get you out of that conversation. I've seen it all. Look, I used to go to Abbey. I used to go everywhere. It's just, that's people, they are, it's like they don't want you to get in. Even if they're gay, they're protecting her really from what's a natural thing is a straight man trying to meet a woman. Like it's a normal thing, but in an abnormal area, it's not, like you're looked at kind of like, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. They are not there to help you. They're not there to help you. I'm not against them. I have no problem with gays. Let me make this clear. But it just has been my life experience that, I don't care for the scene. I don't care for the music. I don't care. It just does nothing to help me. It really does nothing. And if something doesn't help you, how can it help you? Like you're wasting your time. And if you're wasting your time and your energy, what are you getting from it? Now this goes along with so many other things. Like, there's a bar on Sunset. This DJ, he sucks. He just sucks. So I stopped kind of going. I was like, what's the point? The music sucks. Then generally the people suck. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but that's just the truth. So philosophies, it's better to be a lonely lion than a popular sheep or a popular lamb. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't create it, but I heard it and I thought it was profound. It's really good. Now, what is a lonely lion? We already talked about popular sheep. They go to these places, whatever, it's celebrities. I don't, it's the polar opposite. Okay. Now, the lonely lion, what is that? Lonely lion is what I do when I get to that park. Okay. And the exercise that I do, and the work that I put in. That's the fucking lion, man. When I go to the gym, that's the fucking lion. I do both. The people in the gym, they don't see what I do in the park. Anybody in the park doesn't know what I do in the gym. So it's like I got a double entendre. You're in my mind, it's like I'm thinking 200-pound tank of granite. In my mind, that's what I'm thinking. Like a fucking 200-pound fucking powerhouse. And I'm not 200. Last time I weighed myself, I was close to like 185. But it's not just the weight is one thing. The when I mean granite, I'm talking about that core power, and then being able to, have separation, like the body. It's now, again, I'm not like, ideally, it's like, you think about like a 5'9" Batista, whatever, it's just a fucking powerhouse, and that is very, very difficult. Now, of course, you're not going to get that type of separation without any serious performance PEDs, performance enhancing drugs. You're not going to get that separation. Your traps to your shoulders, that thickness, in your chest, whatever. But again, you'd be fucking really surprised what you can get through the sheer hard work. Don't, I know people like to compare it. I want to look like, my friend goes, I look like Ravishing Rick Rude. And I go, this guy, he's got little mental problems. He's got some decent vibes. But, it's like, I said, you have no idea, like, how that guy was a fucking wrestler. I mean, he was Rick Rude, I think he was 6'6", I think. It's a big fucking dude, okay? Guy's neck, I saw him, on the TV shows when he's sitting there with a robe, his thick neck is like a horse. There's no twerk. He might look pretty lean next to the Ultimate Warrior when he was there. But that's because he's still a fucking Ultimate Warrior, I didn't know how big these guys were, so the first time I started meeting these wrestlers in 1990. I said, I see a fucking Ted DiBiase $1 Million Man walked by me. I go, holy shit, these guys are fucking big. Like 250 pounds back then, And when I saw Stone Cold at WrestleMania 20, he shook my hand and stuff like that. I guarantee that guy doesn't work out. He takes a little bit. I could tell, I know, but again, I'm not trying to be little, but it's still 250, fairly, fairly solid. What I mean by that, and when I say fairly solid, I mean not fat. Like that's not, but still not granite, not fucking like what I'm, you know. I mean, we're talking like the kind of work I'm talking about is really really fucking hard. Now you can build if you're willing to take any, willing to do all this gear and stuff like that. You could build what I call an illusion body, an elusive body. That's one thing, but that's not me. I'm not going to do that. Now again, so let me get back to the philosophies that I live by, sort of. I already talked about the being the lion, but the thing, okay, so I'm used to going to nightclubs and stuff like this. So I walk by this place that used to be Sloan's, like, and I go there because on the way to that park that I go to, and I see at 2 in the morning. I just happen to be in all these guys are standing out there. I have to go in the street to get around them because they're just standing on the sidewalk. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. And all this I call chicken talk. And I just think about what a waste of time that is. I hear the music inside sometimes when I walk by, and the music sucks. And that's what it is. All these places, I'm not missing anything. I'm not missing anything now. So I notice. So I go there to do my workout. Now the positioning of the park, it overlooks the sidewalk by like there's a sloping hill that separates the sidewalk, and the reason that there's so much foot traffic, not well, I wouldn't say that it's not that much because there's a parking garage, at the end by the library, and that's where mostly like people park there. So they'll they won't come up, they won't to get to the not, and so I can see people. There's no other way that they can access it with all these tents and everything, which is all cordoned off. So anybody trying to come up to that area, I can see them coming. Now I don't care about that. That doesn't that doesn't bother me. But I notice, for example, like tonight, and some chick goes, hey, hey, like, and I just ignore her. Now that's really important because when I spent all these years going to nightclubs and stuff, if a woman would talk to me, oh yeah, oh yes, oh please, let me talk to you. Maybe maybe I can get laid, or maybe somebody that can help me. The neediness guy, and I ignore these women now. No, I'm working out without my shirt on, and the reason is I do bring a shirt with me. Um, it's a good, it's huh. I don't have that much workout attire. First off, I got about 4 or 5 workout shirts and just a very two different sweats that I'll wear. Now, when I go to the park, I wear jeans because I'm not doing any leg work there. And I think it's good to work out without your shirt on because you can really see what the work that needs to be done. The work is never done. I'm really the harshest critic. I look down at my abs. I say, ah, come on, man, let's chisel this shit. Let's build that granite body. And I feel like if I don't got a shirt on, like it makes me work that much harder for it. Now, when I leave the park, I put the shirt on, and same. But I like to like see the work that you got to do. And the flip side of the coin, it does show what you've done. When you got your shirt off, there's nothing to hide. Like you are a result of your mind, of everything you've done and what you haven't done. Like it really is. I mean, you're talking. the work required to build a sculpted physique without chemicals, without real chemicals, is incredibly, you're asking for, it's hard as fuck. And that's why I'm the only person doing those exercises on Saturday night, 2 in the morning. I saw like on Friday night a group of like women. I just ignored them. They were drunk or whatever. Came up there and they saw me. They have rings that go four on each side, and I can swing across them. Trying to figure out a way how I can swing myself around to stay up, all the way around. Haven't done that yet. But these people, they go up there and I know they see me up there and they think they can do it. And no. I saw one guy one time come up there and do it. I was very impressed. He probably was a kid that was a gymnastics or something. He was older. He was probably in his mid-30s. He did it once. Just as a friend go, let me see. And he did it. I could see I was because I've never, the difficulty. Number one, the spacing of the rings. You would think the generic one hand momentum forward, the other. The way I have to do it is I use both hands. I swing on one. I grab the second ring. I turn it. The rings, you can turn them, and then I bring the other hand adjoining, and then the momentum, the same thing going. Now there's only 4 going on each side, so once I hit the 4th one, it's like you're done. You can't, unless you can somehow get your body around the distance between both. They're actually not the same level. One set of rings for them are a little higher than the other ones. It's just it's a good challenge thing to work on. For your lats, your arms. It's so. I think I've seen this one guy that did it one arm at a time, and I'm sitting there like just, like I was like, my God, he probably was a kid that was in gymnastics because it takes incredible upper body strength to be able to do just a single look. Try fucking those bars. Go try to hang. See how long you can hang on a fucking bar off the ground with one arm. See if you can even do it. I don't care. You pick your strongest arm and do it. Okay? I can barely do it for a couple seconds or something. And what I do is like there's a pole like where I can somehow use it for a little leverage. It's incredibly difficult to hang there with one arm. So we're talking about rings. Now you're talking about swinging one arm to one arm. I mean, that's what these gymnastics guys, they're fucking strong as fuck, man. They're strong as fuck, okay? They're not, bodybuilding strong, but their body, their core is like fucking iron, man. And I'm telling you, you think you can go to the park every fucking day. I mean, I'm telling you, these guys, they're, it's like it doesn't matter. They don't. It doesn't matter. They don't look. It's like okay. What's that titanium, right? Take a. You can't bend it. Whatever. It's the strongest metal. Whatever. It looks like nothing, right? But you can't bend it. That's the point. It's like these. You look at these gymnast guys. You think that guy, he looks like he's in good shape. He's in good shape. Those guys can hold instead. They can with their arms with their stomach straight out. Go ahead and try to do that. It's like you're talking about the 0.0000% one of the population that can fucking do. That's why when those people came up, they saw me like on the rigs, and they go, "You let me, yeah, we're gonna do it." The second they get there, they try, they try, they go, "Oh my God, yeah." You have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Now, this is how stupid it makes people look. Can you imagine like these people like if they had like, okay,
the the weight pit at Venice Beach. This is good. This is a good analogy. Okay, so can you imagine like the weight pit? You know, let's say there's a bench 3 wheels on there, 315 pounds. Can you imagine like some guy that like a group whatever they're visiting from something and they don't even go to the gym, they don't even work out, right? And they see, like, hey, let me try this. Like, why not? Because they see the weight on there, they know they can't lift it. It crush their chest. It'll kill them. Okay, they won't. You know, they know in their mind they can't lift that. It's way too much weight for them. But they see those rings and they like, let's go try it, because they know they can't really get hurt on it. Now, you can get hurt on it if you really don't know what you're doing. I mean, I wear gloves when I work out, and sometimes the moisture and stuff like that, I noticed that whole area was pretty damp. And those girls showed up there. They knew immediately. They felt the rings were wet. You know, they said, they're like, be careful. Like, we could hurt our, yeah, they could slip off there and fuck themselves up. You think I just go and I jump on those rings the second I get to the park? You know how thorough my warm-up is? You know how thorough my warm-up is when I go to the gym? How much time I spend warming up and how to warm up properly. And it's not your generic walk into the gym and just stretch. Here's how I warm up, okay? The second okay, I'll tell you, let's just start with the gym first, one thing at a time. I do angled push-ups. There's like plyometric blocks at my gym. I take one, I turn it to where it's, let's say, about 4 feet off the ground. We have push-up bars in my gym. There's one set. I take myself and I position push-up bars on the ground. I put my feet up where I'm angled like 45 degrees. Before I stretch or anything, it's the first thing I do. And I crank out, let's say, 75 of them. Depending if I'm doing upper body that day. No matter what, doesn't matter. It's the first thing I do when I go to the gym. And what I'll do is in the middle of the 75, I will take 1 foot at a time and I will point it, if I can, straight up in the air for 10 reps as I'm going, which is very difficult. I do it with my left foot and I do it with my right leg and my left leg. Left leg's always harder because for some reason it puts more pressure on your left side of your body, which for me is weaker. Weaker because I was a baseball player, holding the bat in my right hand, throwing the ball with my right. Then after that, I catch my breath for 30 seconds, and then I go into my stretching routine. At the park, similar. They have the seated bench press thing. Again, it's like it's there's no weight on there, you know. I'll do 55 reps. Then they have a lat pull down thing, 55 reps. Then I'll go to the workout area and I'll stretch, not as thorough as I do when I'm going to do weight training, but thorough enough. And I warm up my arms very, very slowly and carefully. With the extended dipping bar, I guess they call parallel bars. I think that's what it's called. Where you hold underneath various angles, starting with the easiest, which look like it's nothing, right? Doesn't matter if it looks like it's nothing. The whole thing is to warm up your arms slowly. Because I'm going to be fucking doing the fucking hard fucking shit. The pull with the rings, pull up, lots of fucking shit. There's no fucking rush, especially at this age. I'm almost 50. That's why I never fuck myself up, because I know what the fuck I'm doing. And I know what I'm doing is because I learned it slowly. And I'm not in a rush. All these clowns I see in my gym, these young people, they're going fast, they're trying to get... I don't have to rush anywhere. I take my time. The only time I might have to rush is if I fucking, you know, there's a machine, a hack squat machine I really like, and, you know, when there's nobody on there, and I try to think, okay, well, if I do, maybe I, after the set, get over there so I'm on it, you know, like, that's the only time. Otherwise, I take my fucking time. Now, I noticed, so this woman, you know, it's people with their friends, they're trying to get my attention. The only time people wanted my attention when I would go, because I would go dancing. And some women, they try to get my attention when I was performing, you know, dancing, whatever. That's the only time. Now, I'm not there to perform. I'm there to work. I might look like I'm performing because, you know, just these people walking by, you know, they're watching me do the thing. But I'm not paying any attention to them. Sort of. Every once in a while, I see, you know, the kind of women I like and stuff like that. I will look. I will stop. You know, I'm a human being. If I see something visually, like, whoa, you know, like, but for the most part, no. For the most part, a lot of these women that hang out with these gays, they're not my type. They're just not visually my type for whatever reason. And that goes with a lot of just young people in general. A lot of these young women, they just don't have it. They're not what I call type to me. They're not like really wow. You know, they're nothing. They watch. They dress like they're told to through the media, the television, whatever, and they just don't fit. They don't turn me on. You know. Now I'll tell you what I saw that did turn me on yesterday. I was on my way to Trader Joe's. This woman was coming down this hill on the way to, you know, and she crossed the street right by me. She looked like a little older too, like maybe a little younger than me, but like that kind of, she had this kind of look that really did it for me. She had this really small, like crop top on, you know, this white kind of like baby shirt, and her hair was very sexy, you know, like the way it looked like something kind of out of the 80s or something, but it was really like, you know, she was like kind of pretty well tanned. She had some tattoos on her arms. I didn't care. And when the light changed, now I was wearing form-fitting polo white shirt, like, you know, looking pretty solid, like for me. And I got a real good look at her. She did not look at me. She wasn't on the phone or anything. And I just felt it was really awkward. You know, we were both right in the middle of the intersection, you know, crossing the thing. And I mean, I could have just stopped and said, hey, you know, can I just talk to you? I could have really tried, and I just didn't. You know, see, I'm upset about it. Because she had that look of like that fuck me kind of like just body, like I like, you know. I just try to feel like I was alpha, you know, like I try to show like, hey, this woman should be looking at me kind of thing, like. And I just didn't get that off of her. I you know, I was hoping that I would have gotten, like, in my mind, I'm thinking like Frank Zane, you know, like bodybuilder, like, I don't care if this is not the 70s anymore. Mr. Olympia is still Mr. Olympia, you know, like in my mind, I'm thinking like, you know, like I'm the shit, you know, not cocky, but confident. And important, that confidence has to be exuded through like that, hey, I'm something here. And she just wouldn't, like, I don't get that from any, I very rare, no woman has really ever been like, wow, really put a lot of time, like, I want to get to know you kind of thing. Like, it might sound egotistical, but, you know, you should be. You know, they say bodybuilders have whopping egos, and they should, you know, like, they're not, if you're putting in that kind of work more than any other man, you should be a superior man. Get it? Superman, superior man, you know?
I know it's not the most important thing. And I talked about this with the three pillars, but it is, it is one of them. So evenly divided out of 33%, that's a substantial factor of being what I call, something extraordinary. But the end result is I didn't make. I looked there after I got, went back there and I never saw her again. You know, you know what it is? It's just, man, I have so little success overall in my lifetime trying that it just it, it like breaks my spirit of persistence when you don't see really from your whole life. It's very difficult to try. Like when you just don't see any woman that, like, ever giving it up for you. Now I have in my entire life I've a couple miracles, a handful of miracles, not a couple, a handful, and that's it. That's a hand, literally, and that's all. A lot of that's all my own doing. It's my own fault. I know. I was a very different kind of person, and I was a very combative person. I was a very shy person. So all those things, everything I did never worked. And when you're by yourself, going to these clubs. If you go back and listen to my episodes, I talked about going to these clubs in Orange County for older people. There was one last night, where I didn't go because I look at the end result. I'm not getting my needs met. I'm not getting what I do. Why? Don't waste your time or your energy. That's why going for me doing the exercise on a Saturday night when most people are going out there, they're running around trying to meet people. Let them waste their time and their energy. That's what they're doing. It feels like I'm wasting time and energy, working out. What am I doing? What are you trying to build body for? What are you strength, inner core? You're not competing in the gymnastics. You're not competing in the Olympics. You're not in a bodybuilding competition. You're not. I know I'm not. But again, I equate it to being 1/3 of building yourself as a real man. That's what 1/3 of it is. It is the power, the physical. 1/3. I equate it to a lot more than that, but I say just to be, the complete package. The financial, the knowledge and education, and then the physical. That should be the norm. Like, if you're saying, man, how do I become like a real, like, something, a man, something really special? Like, get good at all those three. If you don't have a doctorate degree, why not? Why not? In any whatever it is you're interested in, why don't you have it? It takes a long time. Yeah, well, you know what? Everything takes a fucking long time, man. If it's worth it, that way when you talk to somebody and you're a fucking doctor of philosophy, whatever, in psychology or health sciences or engineering, to people to give you respect for that. You're not just some fucking guy that's some youth. And that's what most people are. I'm very sorry to tell you. That's why I don't pay attention to most of these people. There's nothing they can do for you. They look at this. They look at that mountain. They see. They go, oh my God. It'll take me forever to climb up there. I can't do it.
I look at it like, all right, I don't care how long it takes. I'll climb up the fucking mountain because when I get to the top, I'll be amongst a handful of rare people. And those rare people are the ones that generally get their needs met. They get the things that they want out of life. That's why you can't look at celebrities as an example of that. They're bad examples in that way. How many people have all three? I look at that. It's not many. Not many. And that not many is how many people like really live an affluent lifestyle. Not many. Not many. There's plenty of wealthy people live in Brentwood, Pacific Palisades, Beverly Hills, right? But if you take all those people and you compare them to how many people are in Los Angeles that just live, to pay rent, but not live in kind of a dumpy apartment, dumpy area, or I live in a decent area, but there's plenty of people that don't. They live in dumpy areas and stuff, whatever. Then you see, not many, not many have, not many have. So when I say affluent, I mean affluent in all three. All three. The finances include the strong credit, owning property. Wealthy people own property. I mean, I can make it vague. You just go, money, body, knowledge. I'd make it real easy. But I think that's just too vague. You have to decompartmentalize those three. But that's basically what it is. I don't know what other people are doing. I don't care. They're not going to help me. So I went to the park at 2 in the morning, whatever, 2 to 3 in the morning, 1:30 to whatever, 1 to 2. My gym opens at 8. I think, well, you already did something at the park. But you can't do any leg work in the park. There's no squatting, there's nothing. So I'll do legs, whatever. Or I like the resistance. I need the weights, Ultimate Warrior said, body needs to be worked and needs to be worked hard. More is better. More is better. I don't care, People are afraid. Oh, I could tear something. I could rip something. I could get hurt. Get hurt. Get hurt. Go hurt yourself then. If you're not a warrior, if you're not a lion, I have a friend, and most of these people are sheep. I have a friend, he's a sheep. He's a nice guy, but he's a sheep. He had back surgery. Most people that are fat, and what I mean fat is, belly. It doesn't have to be, Orson Welles, 300 pounds. Fat is fat, man. Cali Muscle said, if you can't see your abs, you fat, homie. Right. Don't be, society brainwashes you that you're not fat, a little bit of fat, belly fat. That's fat, man. That's fat. And that's why you have back problems. You don't know how to exercise. Ask, what do you do? I ask, what do you do when you're in the gym?
your lat pulled down and they're like a bicep work. Don't you? What do you do for your back? Like, no, I don't do that because I don't want to. I'm scared. I could hurt myself. I could scared you're gonna hurt yourself. Never did any hyperextensions, to build strength in the lower back or anything. Never asked even people like, how do I do this? How do some of these people they're lemicals, they just yeah. And I heard this. I said I'm very careful how much time I spend with people that think this way. That are happy being average or nothing. I even told this guy that Arnold said I'd rather be dead than average. So, he goes, his thinking process is not of somebody to become anything. I can't waste time being around people like that. Better to be alone. I'm telling you, when you are alone and you think, not when you watch garbage. Listen, I watch stupid shit too sometimes, but I hope that some of it works to motivate me. I watch some things at Disneyland, whatever, when it shows a Star Wars thing. It's cute. Seeing the kids go like up trying to hug Kylo Ren or BB-8. I like, okay. I'm a fan. I got to admit. But then when it's time to like, in general, like I'm there to work. And I don't mean being a schlep rock. I applied for jobs at post office things, never contacted me. I think it's the best thing that they didn't. I was thinking, okay, maybe I should apply UNLV, a senior advisor, academic advisor. I know I could help students, and all these things I applied for, nobody ever reached out to me. Because I know if I got a job like that, my physical thing would be done. I know I wouldn't be able to work. My energy would be doing that. You got to think long term. You don't want to be old. There was a guy, my neighbor, he passed away. He was in his 90s. He was like, I asked him, what'd you do with your life? What did you didn't accrue any, I didn't say you accrue any money, but I was a movie critic. He was, took the train, the Amtrak, across the country once. He did tell me he fought in the Battle of the Bulge. I commend you. If you're in the military in World War II, that's incredible. What did you do after that? Like if you could, what? Movie critic? Aren't there like 3 or 4 guys like what? Siskel and Ebert. I almost said Egbert. Siskel and Egbert. Uh, uh, sad what happened to those guys. Uh, and that other guy with that dumb mustache. That's like a couple guys that ever made any living from that. Sorry, man. It's like me. I danced on 5 TV shows, technically. I know it doesn't even work. I talked about it in some other episode. I've talked about this before. Didn't lead anywhere. I was a professional baseball player for one day. It didn't lead anywhere. I tied in a national championship chess tournament. It didn't lead anywhere. So I don't stay on the path that leads nowhere. You only got so much lifetime. what's even worse is if you're doing something destructive, because that leads worse than nowhere. That leads to the wrong place. That's worse than nowhere. There's three places. There's the garbage, like the place that leads to an awful place. Then there's place that goes nowhere. That's like mid-level. And then there's up, place that goes in the right direction forward to success. So when you see these people that like are doing toxic things all the time, drinking, smoking, gambling, garbage things, whatever, drugs, that's the place that leads to the worst place. Then there's these people that I call them schlep rocks. They work in the market for 30 years. They don't have any money. They pay rent. They're going nowhere. That's there. And then the people that make it, or whatever, have money, nice house, whatever, that's up there. That's how I size people up. You are somewhere on that hierarchy of something. And if you're working your way from a nothing but have a dream, like I'm gonna own my own property or whatever, then you're in the gray area in between. You're neither there nor there. There's a gray area in between. Or you call it steps up, Now there's steps that go down too. I was on the step down because I thought I'd just drink beer every day. What's that? That's not going to hurt me. Oh, yeah? Yeah? Go ahead and drink. You sit around and just drink all day and see what it does to your health. I thought it was fun. I thought, okay, I'll just sit around and drink all day. I didn't know what I was doing was self-destructive. Steps going down. Gambling, same thing. But I was a hardcore gambler. Like, I had to play for real money. So that was like, yeah. But on television, they glorify it or whatever, these stupid ads. Trying to get you to come out there to play or whatever like that. Just don't understand, For some people, that shit doesn't work. Not for me. I'd rather invest in myself than a casino. Think about it. Think about it. Are you investing in yourself? Or you're actually investing in something else? And you're not investing in, you're actually giving away. You're giving away. You go to these nice hotels, whatever, in Vegas, and you're paying for a fucking room. I don't need to go to restaurants. I go to good markets and buy my own good food. Thrills, that's what it is. These stupid places. I don't know how, this stupid thing, these places. I just don't get it. And I don't care because it's all nothing. It's cats, these fucking places all around me. You're not gonna meet anybody in there by yourself. I've done that. I try to go to these like bars, like in these restaurants and just hang out there. You ain't gonna meet nobody. You ain't gonna meet nobody, okay? You ain't gonna meet anybody. By yourself, you ain't nobody. You ain't gonna meet nobody, okay? I'm not telling you to break your spirit. I'm telling you because I've tried all this stuff and I know. Now, if you're like something, you fit into a very rare mold of something. If you're a really hot chick or something like that, yeah. You have something to sell. You know, the guys that come up to you different. But if you're just an average guy and you ain't nothing, you ain't gonna get nothing, man. You ain't gonna get nothing. Sorry. Because I know I've been around too long, okay? The Force Awakens. I've seen too much. That guy, the old guy, said that before Kylo Ren did him a favor. He said you may try. Thought he was gonna put up a fight or something. No, he didn't. I saw that opening night at the El Capitan. Saw Force Awakens. I'll never forget that theater either. Most people don't know. I do. I know. Those was my friend. He didn't even notice what I noticed. I wonder if anybody in that theater except me noticed those banners. The El Capitan inside the theater. I noticed. That comes from fucking Disney, I guarantee you. Not all is what you think it is. I've talked about this before. If you go back and you listen to what I saw there. Okay? All right? I'm not saying I notice everything, and I'm not saying I know everything. I'm just saying I there's some things that don't slip by me. Amazing when things can be right in front of your face too. Nazi colored banners hanging on each side. Red banners with the black symbol of the First Order on each side. You know, like, there was one that was good, you know, the rebel symbol, the blue with the thing. I would understand it. But to have both long fucking banners on each side in the theater. What the fuck? What was the message there? Who the fuck from Disney? I guarantee you, there's around it's a Disney theater. El Capitan. I know what those fuckers were thinking. Okay, I know what they're thinking. They did that intentionally. They know. Okay. There's a picture of that somewhere. All right. I'm not the only one that observed that. I know there's other people that see it for what it is. I know there has to be. I'm not saying it's a Nazi organization. I'm not saying that. But I saw something that wasn't right. There's a reason for everything. There is. There is. There is. Somebody was trying to send a message. As I saw it. I saw what the fuck, you know? Anyway, I know I'm getting way off topic. It's already been an hour, 20 minutes. But just, you know, it's really hard not to go along with everybody else. I know. That's why I say sort of. It'd be a lonely line. Yeah, you're never gonna you're just gonna watch porn to get off. Like, I get it, man. If you're a straight man, you know, you want to meet women. Well, if I just go around by myself and don't meet anybody, I see. I understand that. That's why I said sort of. But remember, like, when you're doing things by yourself, at least you're focusing on yourself, you know.
You're not going to some fucking these bars and restaurants and wasting time giving them money. I just get watered, and I also feel like I'm wasting my time going these other places. There's no reason. I tried going to these singles mixers. I've done it all, man. Speed dating, online dating, singles mixer. Excuse me. Dancing for older people, mature. So until you've done it all, then you can't, you don't know. I'm talking schlepping outside the comfort zone, Orange County. Anyway, that's enough for now. I hope that got a little something off this one. I try every episode to share my positive. I know it doesn't sound like it sometimes, but take from it what you will. And leave the rest like a salad bar. It's big trouble, little China.